Every puzzle player knows the feeling of opening up a new game, staring at a grid of 16 words, and realizing you're completely locked out. This NYT Connections grid presents a unique visual hurdle. Every single word begins with the letter R. Your visual cortex tries to group those starting letters together before you read the phrases. This visual noise short-circuits your logic, forcing your brain to freeze. To beat a board like this, you have to bypass your own visual bias and force yourself to evaluate the actual definitions. But those definitions are heavily rigged. We start the solving process by isolating the easiest, most accessible items on the board to build early momentum. We can quickly pull together ranch dressing, red onion, roasted chicken, and romaine lettuce. These group perfectly as standard salad ingredients. Right next to those, we find a distinct pop culture link. Radioactive Man, Ralph Wiggum, Reverend Lovejoy, and Rod Flanders all belong to the fictional universe of The Simpsons. Including Radioactive Man is a great specific pull. Longtime viewers can immediately hear the character Rainier Wolfcastle screaming, "My eyes! The goggles do nothing!" Solving these two straightforward categories is a deliberate tactic to distract from the harder logic required for the second half of the board. With 8 words left on the board, an obvious semantic pattern jumps right out: classic cinema. Scanning the remaining tiles, we find Rear Window, Reservoir Dogs, Rain Man, Roman Holiday, and Raging Bull. This diagram shows 5 valid movie titles trying to squeeze into exactly 4 available slots. The math makes this impossible. This is the red herring overlap. By intentionally seeding an extra valid item into the grid, the designer completely stalls your deductive logic. Finding a connection is no longer enough. The actual test is figuring out which of those 5 films secretly belongs to an invisible, harder category. To find that missing category, we isolate the remaining, seemingly unrelated words on the board: Regina King, Roebuck, and Rotary Clipper. Your brain gets trapped here by literal definitions. When you look at this portrait, you identify Regina King strictly as an actress. Likewise, a rotary clipper is read as a physical, mechanical lawn care tool. To crack the purple category, you have to use a mechanic called semantic shift. You must completely divorce these familiar phrases from their physical definitions and look exclusively at the second word. This animation shows the text splitting, isolating the words kings, bucks, and clippers. Stripped of context, these are singular NBA team mascots. Historically, the Los Angeles Clippers got their name in San Diego, a nod to great sailing ships passing through the bay. This semantic shift forces players to treat familiar words as entirely different concepts, breaking the literal-minded habits built up during the early solves. Now we can resolve the red herring overlap from earlier. Raging Bull gives us the Chicago Bulls, completing the NBA mascots and officially pulling it out of the classic films group. This final board shows the remaining 4 films neatly lock into the green category, bringing perfect order to the initial chaos. Connections measures how quickly a person can abandon a failing strategy to embrace a new perspective. Winning demands the ability to identify what must be separated alongside what connects. Did the rotary clipper trap break your streak today? Let us know in the comments, and make sure to subscribe to WiseBot video so you're ready for tomorrow's puzzle strategy.